Welcome to the Ultimate Sports Blog Podcast. Today is Monday, July 30th, 2018. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's baseball action, look ahead to tonight's action, a couple ESPN games tonight. I'll pick them towards Maddie's picks. Go over a couple trades that happened within the last couple of days. Talk about the Haskell that happened yesterday. Pick my players of the week. And I'll close the podcast by making predictions for tomorrow's trade deadline. Let's hope no trades happen between now and when I'm done recording the podcast, or else I might have to go back and edit some things out. All right. Yesterday's baseball games, the Yankees defeated the Royals 6-3. They took 3 out of 4 against the Royals as they improved to 67-37. Kansas City drops to 32-73. Jay Happ in his Yankees debut gets the win. He's 11-6 on the year. Burch Smith with the loss drops to 1-2. Aroldis Chapman gets his 28th save of the season. Bottom of the first, 2-run blast, Aaron Hicks, 2-0 Yanks. Bottom of the fourth, RBI single, Miguel Andujar, 3-0 Yanks. Bottom of the fifth, RBI ground out, Gleyber Torres. Run scores. It should have been a double play, but there was a missed tag by the second baseman when they were attempting to tag Aaron Hicks, 4-0 Yanks. Infield single, Greg Bird, 5-0 Yanks. Top of the sixth, home run Salvador Perez made it a 5-1 game. Bottom of the sixth, sacrifice fly Giancarlo Stanton, 6-1 Yanks. Top of the seventh, home run Hunter Dozier made it a 6-2 game. Top of the eighth, home run Rosell Herrera made it a 6-3 game. That's your final. Jay Happ in his Yankees debut, 6 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.05 ERA. Burch Smith, 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, leaves the game with an ERA of 6. The Red Sox defeated the Twins 3-0 as they take 3 out of 4 from the Twins as they improve to 74-33. Minnesota drops to 48-56. Nathan Eovaldi improves to 4-4 and wins his Red Sox debut. Jose Barrios drops to 10-8. Craig Kimbrell gets his 33rd save of the year. Bottom of the second, 2-run double, J.D. Martinez, 2-0 Sox. Bottom of the fourth, RBI single, J.D. Martinez, 3-0 Sox is your final. Nathan Eovaldi in his Red Sox debut, 7 innings, 4 hits, no home runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.8 ERA. Jose Barrios, 4 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.56 ERA. The Orioles defeated the Rays 11-5 as they improved to 32-74. Tampa Bay drops to 53-53. Dylan Bundy improves to 7-9. Yanni Chirinos drops to 0-3. Bottom of the first, fielder's choice Mark Trumbo, 1-0 O's. 2-run shot, Chris Davis, 3-0 O's. Top of the second, home run, C.J. Cron, 3-1. Bottom of the second, RBI single, Adam Jones, 4-1 O's. Top of the fourth, another home run for C.J. Cron, made it a 4-2 game. Bottom of the fourth, home run, Austin Wins, 5-2 O's. Bottom of the fifth, RBI single, Jace Peterson, 6-2 O's. Top of the sixth, home run, Jake Bauers, made it a 6-3 game. Bottom of the seventh, a 3-run shot for the red-hot Jonathan Scope, 9-3 O's. Top of the eighth, RBI single, Matt Duffy made it a 9-4 game. Sacrifice fly, Jake Bauers made it a 9-5 game. Bottom of the eighth, second home run of the game for Chris Davis. 11-5 Orioles is your final. Dylan Bundy pitched okay. Maybe his last start as an Oriole. We'll see. 7 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.53 ERA. Yanni Chirinos, 3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.21 ERA. The Indians defeated the Tigers 8-1 as they improved to 57-47. Detroit drops to 45-62. Corey Kluber, bounce back game for him, improves to 13-6. Jordan Zimmerman drops to 4-3. Top of the first, sacrifice fly, Jose Ramirez, 1-0 Indians. Bottom of the first, RBI ground out, Nicholas Castellanos, 1-1. Top of the second, home run, Melky Cabrera, 2-1 Indians. RBI single, Francisco Lindor, 3-1 Indians. Top of the third, 2-run shot, Yonder Alonso, 5-1 Indians. Top of the seventh, home run, Edwin Encarnacion, 6-1 Indians. Top of the eighth, RBI single, Edwin Encarnacion, 7-1 Indians. RBI double, Yonder Alonso, 8-1 Indians. That's your final. Corey Kluber, 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits, and a run, a walk, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.79 ERA. Jordan Zimmerman, 3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.44 ERA. The Reds defeat the Phillies 4-0 as they improve to 48-58. Philly drops to 58-47. Luis Castillo improves to 6-8. Zach Eflin drops to 7-3. Rafael Iglesias with his 21st save of the year. Bottom of the third, RBI double, Kurt Casale, 1-0 Reds. 2-run shot, Scooter Gennett, 3-0 Reds. Bottom of the sixth, sacrifice fly, Phillip Ervin, 4-0 Reds is your final. Luis Castillo, 7 innings for it, no earned runs, a walk, 9 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.98 ERA. Zach Eflin, 5 in the third inning, 7 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.64 ERA. The Marlins defeated the Nationals 5-0 as they improved to 46-61. The Nationals dropped to 52-53. Jose Urena improves to 3-10. Jeremy Hellickson drops to 4-2. Bottom of the second, RBI single Jose Urena, 1-0 Marlins. Bottom of the third, RBI double Martin Prado, 2-0 Marlins. Bottom of the fifth, RBI single Martin Prado, 3-0 Marlins. JT Riddle safe on the error by Daniel Murphy. A run scores, 4-0 Marlins. RBI double Miguel Rojas, 5-0 Marlins, your final. Jose Urena, a pretty good start. 6 innings, a hit, no one runs, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.4 ERA. Jeremy Hellickson, 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.59 ERA. Maybe it's his last game as a Nat. The Braves defeated the Dodgers 4-1 as they improved to 55-47. The Dodgers dropped to 59-47. Sean Newcomb improves to 10-5. Ross Stripling drops to 8-3. This game was on TBS. I meant to pick it yesterday. My pick was the Braves, so that was a correct pick by me. Bottom of the first, RBI double Nick Markakis, 1-0 Braves. RBI double Kurt Suzuki, 2-0 Braves. Bottom of the third, home run Nick Markakis, a 2-run shot, 4-0 Braves. Top of the ninth, RBI single Manny Machado made it a 4-1 game. That's your final. The story of this game is that Sean Newcomb had a no-hitter through 8 2/3 innings, and Chris Taylor broke it up with a hard hit single with the diving pass of Johan Camargo to break up Newcomb's no-hit bid. He had a very high pitch count as well. He was outstanding. As I mentioned, 8 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.23 ERA. Ross Stripling, 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.68 ERA. That was his worst start in a while. The Mets defeated the Pirates 1-0 as they improved to 44-59. The Pirates dropped to 55-52. Zach Wheeler improves to 5-6. Joe Musgrove drops to 4-5. Anthony Swarzak gets his 3rd save of the year. Top of the 5th, RBI double Zach Wheeler. 1-0 Mets was your final. Wheeler's pitching line, 6 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, a walk, 7 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.11 ERA. Maybe his last game as a Met. Joe Musgrove, 7 innings, 5 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.63 ERA. The Blue Jays defeated the White Sox 7-4 as they improved to 48-56. Chicago drops to 37-68. Luis Santos improves to 1-1. Jace Fry drops to 0-2. Top of the 5th, home run of Lemmy Diaz, 1-0 Blue Jays. Bottom of the 5th, RBI ground out Omar Narvaez. Ties it up at 1 apiece. Bottom of the 6th, RBI single Matt Davidson, 2-1 Sox. Bottom of the 7th, home run Omar Narvaez, 3-1 Sox. Top of the 8th, RBI single Udes Gurriel made it a 3-2 game. Top of the 9th, home run Teoscar Hernandez, 3-3. 2-run double Brandon Drury. He was acquired in the J-Happ deal, 5-3 Toronto. RBI double Luke Maile, 6-3 Toronto. RBI single Udes Gurriel, 7-3 Blue Jays. Bottom of the 9th, home run Daniel Palka made it a 7-4 game. That was your final. Ryan Baroki, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 5 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 2.83 ERA. Carlos Rodon, 7 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 3.24 ERA. The Rangers defeated the Astros 4-3 to complete the sweep as they improved to 45-62. Houston drops to 67-40. Mike Minor improves to 7-6. Lance McCullers Jr. drops to 10-6. Keone Kela gets his 24th save of the year. Bottom of the 2nd, home run Tyler White, 1-0 Astros. Top of the 5th, ground rule double Delano DeShields, 1-1. Top of the 6th, RBI double Jurickson Profar, 2-1 Rangers. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa safe on the error by Yuli Gurriel. A run scores, 3-1 Rangers. RBI double, Ronald Guzman, 4-1 Rangers. Bottom of the 6th, sacrifice fly, Alex Bregman made it a 4-2 game. Bottom of the 9th, RBI single, Tony Kemp made it 4-3. That was your final. Mike Minor, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 8 strikeouts, leaves the game with 4.73 ERA. Maybe that was his last game as a Ranger. Lance McCullers Jr., 5 in the 3rd inning, 6 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 11 strikeouts, leaves the game with a 4.06 ERA. The Rockies defeat the Athletics 3-2 to complete the sweep as they improve to 57-47. Oakland drops to 61-46. Herman Marquez improves to 9-8. Frankie Montas drops to 5-3. Wade Davis gets his 30th save of the year. Bottom of the 2nd, 2-run shot, Tom Murphy, 2-0 Rockies. Bottom of the 3rd, RBI double, Ryan McMahon. 3-0 Rockies. Top of the 4th, home run, Matt Chapman made it 3-1. Top of the 7th, home run, Chris Davis made it 3-2. That's your final. Herman Marquez, 7 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 8 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.82 ERA. Frankie Montas, 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.75 ERA. The Mariners defeated the Angels 8-5 as they improved to 62-43. The Angels dropped to 54-53. Marco Gonzalez improves to 12-5. Felix Pena drops to 1-2. Edwin Diaz gets his 39th save of the year. You have a 7-run top of the 1st for the Mariners. RBI single, Gene Segura, 1-0. RBI double, Denard Span, 2-0. RBI single, Nelson Cruz, 3-0. RBI single, Ben Gamble, 4-0. Wild pitch by Felix Pena allows Mitch Haniger to score, 5-0. 2-run double, Mike Zunino, 7-0. Top of the 3rd, RBI single, Mike Zunino, 8-0 Mariners. Bottom of the 5th, Angels make it semi-interesting. 2-run shot, Justin Upton, 8-2. Will start to begin to make it interesting. Bottom of the 7th is when it got pretty tight. RBI single, Justin Upton made it 8-3. RBI single, Albert Pujols made it 8-4. Sacrifice fly, Andrelton Simmons made it 8-5. That was your final. Marco Gonzalez, 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.37 ERA. Felix Pena did not last even a whole innings. He only went a third of an inning, 6 hits, 7 runs, 2 walks, with a strikeout. Leaves the game with a 5.23 ERA. The Giants defeated the Brewers 8-5 as they improved to 53-54. Milwaukee drops to 61-47. Andrew Suarez improves to 4-6. Junior Guerrera drops to 6-7. Will Smith gets his 5th save of the year. Top of the 1st, 2-run shot, Ryan Braun, 2-0 Brewers. Bottom of the 3rd, bases clearing double, Buster Posey. Giants lead 3-2. Sacrifice fly, Evan Longoria, 4-2 Giants. Bottom of the 4th, home run, Gorky Hernandez, 5-2 Giants. Top of the 5th, RBI ground out, Lorenzo Kay made it 5-3. Bottom of the 5th, 2-run triple, Pablo Sandoval made it 7-3 Giants. Sacrifice fly, Steven Duggar made it 8-3. Top of the 6th, home run, Hernan Perez made it an 8-4 game. Top of the 7th, home run, Travis Shaw made it an 8-5 game. That's your final. Andrew Suarez pitched okay. 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 4.11 ERA. Junior Guerrera, 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.43 ERA. The Diamondbacks defeated the Padres 5-4 as they improved to 59-48. San Diego drops to 42-66. Clay Buchholz improves to 4-1. Joey Lucchesi drops to 5-6. Brad Boxberger gets his 25th save of the year. Top of the 1st, 2-run home run, Paul Goldschmidt, 2-0 Diamondbacks. Bottom of the 3rd, 2-run double, Will Myers, 2-2. Top of the 4th, home run, A.J. Pollock made it 3-2 Diamondbacks. 2-run shot, Nick Ahmed, 5-2 Diamondbacks. Bottom of the 6th, RBI single, A.J. Ellis made it a 5-3 game. Bottom of the 8th, RBI double, Freddie Galvis made it 5-4. That's your final. Clay Buchholz, 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 2.65 ERA. Joey Lucchesi, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.74 ERA. The Cubs defeated the Cardinals 5-2 last night on Sunday Night Baseball. I had the Cardinals. I was wrong. The Cubs improved to 61-44. The Cardinals dropped to 53-52. Kyle Hendricks improves to 7-9. John Gant drops to 3-4. Pedro Strop gets his 5th save of the year. Top of the 1st, home run, Ben Zobrist, 1-0 Cubs. Bottom of the 1st, 2-run shot, Marcelo Ozuna, 2-1 Cardinals. Top of the 5th, home run, Anthony Rizzo, 2-2. Top of the 5th, Jason Hayward safe on the error by Yaro Munoz. A run scores, 3-2 Cubs. 2-run double, Javier Baez, 5-2 Cubs, your final. Kyle Hendricks pitched great. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.97 ERA. John Gant, 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Leaves the game with a 3.49 ERA. Tonight's games. Some teams have the night off, others do not. 7 o'clock, ESPN, Phillies, Red Sox. This is going to be a fun game and a fun pitching matchup between Aaron Nola and David Price. You know what? Give me the Phillies. They're the underdogs tonight. Nola right now is a better pitcher than David Price. I think Nola will lead the way to a win for Philadelphia. The Red Sox offense has not been that good. Post All-Star break, they might have had a couple good innings against the Orioles, but that's really it. Other than that, the Red Sox offense, and then they had the big game against Detroit, has not really done much. I'm a little concerned about them. Mookie Betts hasn't really played well of late. JD Martinez drove in all their runs yesterday. Rafael Devers is on the disabled list. That's a loss for the Red Sox. I'll talk about that injury in a little bit and what it can mean for potentially them going out and getting another bat. So give me Philadelphia, let's say 4-2 Phillies. I'm going to say Nola pitches well. Rhys Hoskins will have a big game. New trade deadline acquisition is Asdrubal Cabrera. Will be motivated to play on a contender. So give me Philadelphia winning at Fenway Park tonight. 7:30 Marlins Braves. Wei Chen and Julio Teheran. 8 o'clock Indians Twins. Shane Bieber and Irvin Santana. Maybe Santana's last start as a member of the Minnesota Twins. Rockies Cardinals. Big game for St. Louis. Could determine buy or sell for them. Tyler Anderson and Carlos Martinez. Will it be Carlos Martinez's final game as a Cardinal? I'm going to say no. 9:40 Rangers Diamondbacks. Martin Perez and Robbie Ray. 10 o'clock ESPN. Brewers Dodgers. Freddie Peralta and Kenta Maeda. This is easy. Give me the Dodgers at home. They're a better team at home than they are on the road. They had a good series in Atlanta other than yesterday, but I think they're going to rebound from yesterday's disappointing loss and the no-hitter thing and get a big win at home against one of the up-and-coming teams in the National League. Blue Jays Athletics. Marco Estrada against Edwin Jackson. Is this Estrada's final start as a Blue Jay? Astros Mariners. Garrett Cole against James Paxton. That's a nice pitching matchup. Astros currently on a losing streak, by the way, right now. And last but not least, Giants Padres. Derek Holland and Eric Lauer. This is a big game for San Francisco. Like St. Louis, this could determine buy or sell for them. They're intent on not trading Madison Bumgarner, and that's understandable. But at the same time, they probably should be a seller. We'll get more into trade talk in a couple minutes with predictions regarding every team. A trade I forgot to mention on my podcast was that the Mariners acquired the righty reliever Sam Tuivalu from the St. Louis Cardinals in exchange for minor league right-hander Seth Alledge. This trade happened on Friday. The Mariners bolstered their bullpen a little bit because I think it's thin behind their closer, Edwin Diaz, and their setup man, Alex Colomé. So it was a nice steal for Seattle. Brad Brock was traded from Baltimore to Atlanta yesterday for international slot money. Great trade for Atlanta. They improved their bullpen, and the Orioles get international slot money. Slot money is an asset in the league nowadays because teams want to go out and spend money on international talent. Yesterday was the Haskell Invitational at Monmouth Park in Port Monmouth, New Jersey. The winning horse was Good Magic. Good Magic was one of the horses that raced in those Triple Crown races and finished fourth in the Preakness. Bravazzo finished in second, who was a popular pick to win the Triple Crown races if you wanted to bet on an underdog and not the favorite in those races that Justify had won. A couple other notable name horses were in this race that were in the other big three races, such as Navy Commander, Golden Brown, Core Believes, Lone Sailor. So it was a fun race. One of the underdogs was actually ahead for a while, and then Good Magic pulled away late and ended up winning the Haskell. Rafael Devers hit the disabled list the other day due to a strained hamstring. This is quietly a big loss for the Sox because he started to come around a little bit. He hit the big home run off of Fernando Rodney the other day to tie the game after Craig Kimbrell blew a save. And this leads to the question, will the Red Sox pursue another infielder? I think they should have gone after Asdrubal Cabrera, who could play a bunch of different positions. He could platoon first base with Mitch Moreland. He could have played some second. He could have platooned at third. But no, Philadelphia gets Cabrera, and that's an excellent acquisition for Philly. And I think that's one that's going to come back to haunt the Red Sox a little bit. Maybe they'll go after a third baseman like Adrian Beltre. Maybe they're regretting not going after Mike Moustakas a little bit, who went to Milwaukee over the weekend. Maybe they go after Brian Dozier of the Minnesota Twins, who could play second base. But yeah, it's a big injury for Boston, but they can conceivably go out and make some moves to get some more depth in their infield. I think they would like a guy that can play second and third. Eduardo Nunez could basically do that, but he's been abysmal this season. There was a story that I didn't get into on this podcast. Sam Darnold was having negotiation issues with the Jets about his contract. They finally got him locked up. 4 years, $30 million, fully guaranteed to end the holdout. That's good news for the Jets. I think Darnold should be their starter from day one, but I doubt he will be because I know the Jets and they probably want to develop him a little bit and give Teddy Bridgewater and the veteran Josh McCown a chance to start games early on this season. But I really like Darnold, and they had to do this because they traded up for a reason. I don't think they thought at the time they were getting Darnold. I think they were realistically thinking Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, or Baker Mayfield at the time. But the Giants drafting Saquon Barkley and the Browns taking Mayfield opened the doors up for them to get Sam Darnold. And this, I think, will be a big long-term win for the Jets down the road. And the Browns are going to have some regrets, I think, potentially. Players of the week, real quick. I'm not doing the power rankings today because I want to wait until after the trade deadline to do them. Then I'll re-rank the teams after they've made some deals and evaluate from there. American League, I'm going to go with Jonathan Scope of the Baltimore Orioles. He's ignited that offense since Manny Machado got traded. He got some home runs against the Red Sox, some home runs against Tampa Bay. I think he's deserving of this. In the National League, Rhys Hoskins of the Philadelphia Phillies. He's been on an absolute tear lately. There's other candidates for the National League, such as Sean Newcomb, who was one strike away from a no-hitter. You have Eugenio Suarez of the Cincinnati Reds, who's carried that offense. But let's go with Hoskins, who's playing for a first-place team and has carried that offense over the last couple days. And I think he's going to be a big part of what they do going forward. I can't wait to see the Phillies play the Red Sox tonight. Trade predictions, one per team. Arizona Diamondbacks reunite with Brad Ziegler. This would be a good reunion as the Marlins trade away relievers. Arizona needs help in their bullpen. The Atlanta Braves trade for Sonny Gray to help their rotation. And Sean Kelly to help their bullpen. The Baltimore Orioles are done dealing. I do not think they'll trade Jonathan Scope, although he's raised his trade value of late. I know Milwaukee was interested in him. I know the Braves liked him a lot. Maybe that's the Red Sox acquisition, that he'd be a good fit there. But I'm going to say that Schoop remains an Oriole. Maybe they'll deal him this winter. The Boston Red Sox trade for Brian Dozier to improve their infield depth and to play second base and to provide more power in that lineup. And Kelvin Herrera to be their eighth inning guy. The Chicago Cubs trade for Ryan Madson. They need some more bullpen help. There is rumors out there that they could be in the Chris Archer sweepstakes. That makes the most sense to me. That's the team that makes the most sense for Archer because Joe Madden is there, and I think Chris Archer would be motivated to reunite with Joe Madden. But I'm going to say that the Chicago Cubs don't trade for Archer and they trade for Ryan Madson. The Chicago White Sox are done dealing. I don't think they'll make any moves. I think Jose Abreu and Avisail Garcia remain members of the White Sox for now. The Cincinnati Reds trade Matt Harvey and Raisel Iglesias. Iglesias is excellent. He reminds me a lot of Aroldis Chapman, as crazy as that sounds. And Matt Harvey, they have to trade Harvey. There's no excuse if they don't. I'm sorry. Iglesias, I understand if they keep him, but I think somebody will overpay for him. The Cleveland Indians trade for Curtis Granderson to help their outfield depth. This would be a nice acquisition for Cleveland, as they've dealt with outfield injuries most of the year. The Colorado Rockies trade for Kirby Yates to help out their bullpen. This would be a good acquisition for Colorado. The Detroit Tigers are done dealing. I don't think they'll make any more trades. The Houston Astros trade for Raisel Iglesias. I think that's the team that overpays. And perhaps Kyle Tucker could be in the deal. Maybe Yordan Alvarez could be in the deal. The Kansas City Royals are done dealing. I think they made their moves with Moustakas and Herrera. They'll keep Salvador Perez, although he's been hitting the lights out lately. He could be the American League Player of the Week this week. He was one of my runners-up because he pretty much kept that Royals team in games against one of the big contenders in baseball this past weekend. The Los Angeles Angels will keep their controllable pitchers such as Andrew Heaney, Tyler Skaggs, and their relievers such as Jose Alvarez and Cam Barotzian and Blaine Parker, because I think they want to compete in 2019 with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani on their team. So I think they'll keep their controllable guys. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade away some rentals, though. The Los Angeles Dodgers trade for Miami's Kyle Barlow to help out in their bullpen. The Miami Marlins trade a few of their relievers, but keep JT Realmuto. There's talks that Realmuto could end up on the Washington Nationals, but I doubt that because I think the Nationals could end up selling instead of buying, so it wouldn't make sense to trade for Realmuto. And plus, the Marlins are demanding Victor Robles or Juan Soto. They're not trading any of those guys because I think the Nationals know deep down that they may lose Bryce Harper. The Milwaukee Brewers trade for Matt Harvey. This would be a nice fit, a nice buy low candidate for their rotation. The Minnesota Twins trade starters Kyle Gibson and Irvin Santana to contenders. The New York Mets will trade Zach Wheeler. The New York Yankees will trade Sonny Gray and then trade for Minnesota's Kyle Gibson. Gibson pitched brilliantly against the Red Sox recently, and he's just been on a roll this season pretty much. He's been one of the more underrated pitchers in the game this year. And Gibson would be a nice fit in their rotation to give them more depth behind Luis Severino, who has struggled of late. The Oakland Athletics trade for Zach Wheeler. I predicted this on a podcast a couple weeks ago. I'm sticking with it. The Philadelphia Phillies trade for Tyler Clippard to help out their bullpen a little bit. He won't be their closer. I can see Clippard being their 7th or 8th inning guy. Seranthony Dominguez, I think, is filthy dominant. So they'll trade for an average guy in Clippard who I think will pitch better in the pennant race. The Pittsburgh Pirates trade for Keone Kela of the Texas Rangers. I think Pittsburgh will be a buyer, cautious buyer, and trade for Kela, who has some years left under control. The St. Louis Cardinals stand pat regardless of tonight's result. I think Matt Carpenter stays. I think Carlos Martinez stays. And Michael Wacha stays. And I believe Jose Martinez stays as well. But I won't be surprised if any of those 4 guys' names that I mentioned are rumored in deals, but I'd be shocked if any of those 4 were traded. Although the Cardinals did trade away Sam Talavera and traded for Chasen Shreve and Giovanni Gallegos of the Yankees. The San Diego Padres trade for Chris Archer. This will be the surprise of the deadline. I don't think the Padres should do it yet, but I think they are a little desperate and trying to make a push, a future win-now move. They'll move some prospects, not Fernando Tates necessarily, but I can see them moving Anderson Espinoza. I can see them moving some other of their younger prospects. The San Francisco Giants stand pat. There is a rumor that they're going to listen on Andrew McCutchen that just came out 3 minutes ago. MLB Network is saying it, but I do not think they will trade McCutchen. But if they do trade McCutchen, then they should listen on other guys such as Bumgarner and Belt and just blow the whole thing up. Yes, McCutchen's a rental, I get it, but we'll see. They have a big game tonight. Them and St. Louis, to me, and as well as Washington, are the three teams that are facing the most pressure going into tomorrow. The Seattle Mariners trade for Irvin Santana. Santana would be a nice veteran in that rotation to go behind Felix Hernandez and James Paxton. The Tampa Bay Rays trade one of their openers, whether it's Wilmer Font, Ryan Stanek, or Ryan Yarbrough. I think one of those three guys will be traded. They've shown some promise, and I think a contender will swing a deal for one of them to be a swingman out of their bullpen. I could see Boston dealing for one of these guys. I can conceivably even see the Yankees making a trade for one of these guys. Maybe Cleveland. Maybe the Dodgers. That makes some sense. I think Atlanta would make sense, although they did just trade for one of their openers in Johnny Venters, and Venters was an ex-Brave as well. The Texas Rangers only trade Keone Kela, and they'll keep everybody else. But I wouldn't rule out an Adrian Beltre trade in August. Toronto trades Tyler Clippard and Curtis Granderson, and they keep their controllable guys. And the Washington Nationals will trade some of their big-name relievers as Bryce Harper's name continues to float and float and float and float, and then he remains a member of the Washington Nationals. I just don't see any way they trade Bryce Harper. I've had some disagreements on people on Twitter within the last couple days about how they'll trade Bryce because they already have Soto and Victor Robles coming up. But I think they keep Bryce. I think they make a run at this thing a little bit. They're within striking distance of some of those younger teams such as Philadelphia and Atlanta and Milwaukee in the National League pennant race. But I'm going to say they trade a couple relievers. They keep Bryce Harper. Wouldn't rule out a Mark Reynolds deal, so I'm going to predict they sell, but they won't trade Bryce Harper, and they won't trade any other position players. Although I can't rule out the possibility of them trading Mark Reynolds to a contender like the Yankees or somewhere like that, or even Boston for that matter. All right, that's it for the podcast today. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do my power rankings tomorrow after the trade deadline. I'm going to do my podcast tomorrow around, I guess, 3:45, maybe a little after that. The trade deadline's actually at 4 o'clock, so maybe more like 4:45. And I'll go over all the scores from yesterday and talk about all the trades that happened between now and tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Going to be an interesting day tomorrow. I'm very fascinated. And we'll also do some other things in the podcast as well and talk about any other news that goes on in the world of sports. I hope you guys have a great day.